Welcome, everyone, to the ZimmWriter, the ultimate AI content generator for SEO success podcast.
Great to be here.
Today, we are really diving deep, taking a close look at ZimmWriter. It's this AI content generation tool specifically for Windows users.
That's right. And our mission today, is to really get under the hood of ZimmWriter. We've got a ton of material to work with, transcripts from channels like Ranking Tactics and Dominate Marketing, official docs like the changelog and help pages.
To G2 Reviews, the main website.
Exactly. And even an ultimate guide PDF. So quite a bit to pull from.
And the idea is, for you listening, especially if you want that quick, thorough understanding without getting totally bogged down.
Okay.
We're going to unpack the main features, the good stuff about ZimmWriter.
We'll definitely hit those aha moments, those things that make you go, oh, okay, and show how it actually works for like SEO and creating content day to day.
All right, let's jump in. First thing that grabbed me was this feature called the one-click writer. Sounds simple.
It really is. The name nails it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's built for speed, for getting those basic informational posts out fast. Think listicles, maybe how-to guides.
So you literally just type in a title.
Yeah.
Like 5 steps to get good grades in college.
Yep. You type that in, click OK, and boom, ZimmWriter generates the blog post.
Wow. Okay. And the output, it's in Markdown.
Right. Markdown format.
Right.
Which is super flexible, you know? Easy to convert that to Word or drop it straight into WordPress, especially with Gutenberg. It just works.
That flexibility is key. And you mentioned something about cost. That seems almost too good to be true.
Yeah, well, the example we saw was pretty striking. Like 1,400 plus word article generated using GPT 3.5 costed just 1 cent.
1 penny.
Seriously, it's a substantial article for practically nothing. That's the beauty of their model, the bring your own API key approach.
Okay, explain that a bit more. Bring your own API key.
Right, so instead of ZimmWriter bundling the AI cost and marking it up, you use your own API key from OpenAI. You pay OpenAI directly at their standard rate. No middleman markup.
Gotcha. So it's transparent and potentially way cheaper than tools that hide the AI cost in the subscription.
Exactly. It makes powerful AI much more accessible, especially for maybe smaller operations or individuals.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. But what if you need more than just one article? What if you're thinking bigger scale?
Well, that's where the bulk writer steps in. And this is where ZimmWriter really starts to flex its muscles, I think.
Bulk writer.
Yeah.
So generating lots of posts at once.
Yep. Anywhere from one single post, if you wanted, up to literally thousands in one go.
Thousands. Okay, that's serious volume.
It is. And it's not just about volume, right? It gives you a ton of settings to customize the output, really tailor it.
So not just churning out clones, you can control how they're written.
Precisely. One basic requirement is just putting each blog post title on its own line in the input. Simple enough. And while it supports advanced stuff like SRP scraping, which we'll get to, a really cool feature within the bulk writer is using custom outlines.
Custom outlines. Tell me more. That sounds useful.
Oh, it's fantastic. It lets you apply a consistent structure, a consistent format across many different blog posts, even if the topics are totally different.
Okay, give me an example.
Sure. Let's say you run a food blog, right? You're doing lots of recipes. You could create a custom outline with standard headings like ingredients, instructions.
Right, usual stuff.
But then you could add a dynamic heading using a variable, like maybe title origins. ZimmWriter automatically replaces title with the actual recipe name for each post it generates.
Oh, that's clever. So for a chocolate chip cookie post, it would automatically create a heading, chocolate chip cookie origins.
Exactly. It keeps everything consistent, but also specific. You control the heading levels, H2s, H3s. You can tell it to include lists, maybe bullet points, numbered lists.
Can it add other things? Like videos?
Yeah, you can even set it up to automatically embed relevant YouTube videos, though that usually needs a ScrapeOwl account set up.
Okay, and the best part?
You save these outlines, create it once, save it, reuse it for future batches. Huge time saver.
Definitely see the appeal there.
Yeah.
And the customization. Does it go beyond just the outline structure?
It does. You've also got custom prompts. This lets you apply specific instructions to particular parts of the article.
Like the intro.
Or the conclusion.
Exactly. Intro, conclusion, even the text generated under specific subheadings, you can get really granular.
So you could tell it, for instance, write the conclusion like you're talking to a beginner and make sure to ask them to subscribe.
Precisely that. Maybe. Rewrite this conclusion at an 8th grade reading level and include a call to action for our new course.
Yeah.
That level of control.
That's pretty powerful for tailoring the message. Okay, now what about the SEO folks? People really focused on ranking. ZimmWriter has them covered with the dedicated SEO writer. This is where you get like maximum control over everything for a single article. The outline, the keywords, any extra info.
No more hands-on than the bulk writer.
Definitely. You can manually type in all your headings, H2s, H3s, H4s, or you can let the AI generate them based on your target keywords. Gives you options.
You bring in outlines from elsewhere?
Yeah. There's an option to paste an outline directly from your clipboard as long as it's formatted correctly. And there's also this global background box.
Global background, what's that for?
It's for feeding the AI extra context, stuff it might not know, maybe very specific details about your product, your niche, or some recent event it hasn't been trained on yet, helps ensure accuracy.
Ah, okay. Filling in the knowledge gaps.
Yeah.
Makes sense. It also supports SRP scraping here too, right?
It does, yes.
Well.
Both Bulk Writer and SEO Writer can use SRP scraping for, better outlines and pulling in relevant info. We'll dig into scraping more soon.
Cool. Now, you mentioned something earlier that sounded really specific. The local SEO buffet. Sounds intriguing.
Yeah, it's quite a feature. This is aimed squarely at local businesses or agencies managing local clients.
Okay, what does it do?
It's designed to generate location-specific SEO content at scale. Think service pages for multiple towns or neighborhoods. It can create up to 625 pages at once.
This is 125. Wow. How does that work?
You feed it information, your business type, the name, key selling points, then lists of your service locations, up to 25 locations, and the services you offer, again, up to 25 services. And get this, each service can have its own unique selling proposition.
Okay, so it takes all that input and then
it generates content tailored for each service in each location. Things like catchy taglines, calls to action, service descriptions that mention the specific town or area, benefits relevant to that local audience.
So it's trying to create pages that feel genuinely local.
Exactly. It's designed to mimic the structure and content style of successful local business websites that already rank well. It's pretty smart.
That sounds incredibly useful for plumbers, electricians, dentists.
Right.
Anyone serving specific geographic areas?
Totally. A real potential time saver for building out those crucial local landing pages.
Okay, shifting gears slightly. Building authority in a niche is huge for SEO. Does ZimmWriter help with that planning phase?
It does. There's the topical authority generator. This is more about strategy, about figuring out what to write about.
How does it work?
You give it a broad niche topic, let's say organic gardening.
Right.
It then goes and finds related keyword clusters, suggests long-tail keywords within those clusters, and even generates potential blog post titles.
So it helps you map out your content, build those topic silos.
Precisely. You can adjust how many clusters, long tails, and titles it generates. And the output even suggests categories and like an outline focus, helping you keep things organized from the start.
That sounds super helpful for planning a content calendar.
Definitely. And if you're even earlier in the process, like just brainstorming what niche to even go into,
Yeah.
there's the bulk niche generator.
Okay, another bulk tool. What's this one do?
You feed it some seed keywords, maybe up to 200 ideas you have. It then uses AI to brainstorm related, but maybe less obvious niche ideas. It aims to give you about 5 times as many ideas back.
So expanding your horizons, finding maybe less competitive areas?
Exactly. Trying to uncover those hidden gems. The output comes as a CSV file, and it even throws in suggestions for website names and initial blog concepts for those niches.
Pretty cool for idea generation. Okay, let's talk about existing content. Can ZimmWriter do anything with stuff you've already published?
Absolutely. That's where the penny arcade comes in. Despite the name, it's pretty powerful.
Penny Arcade, rewriting.
Primarily, yes. You can give it the URL of an existing blog post, yours or someone else's, and it will rewrite it. But crucially, it's not just spinning the words.
What does it do then?
It first summarizes the original content, gets the core ideas, and then writes a completely new article based on that summary.
Ah, so it's more like creating a fresh piece inspired by the original rather than just tweaking sentences.
Exactly. And it can do the same thing with YouTube videos. Give it a YouTube URL, it summarizes the video content, and writes an article from that.
That's very useful for repurposing content. And the penny part.
The cost is typically very low. We saw examples of full articles rewritten for like 4 cents. Again, leveraging that direct API access.
And it integrates with other features too, right?
Yep. Penny Arcade can also use the AI image generation and embed relevant YouTube videos into the rewritten content. It's a nice little content refreshing toolkit.
You've mentioned SRP scraping a couple of times now. Let's unpack that a bit more. What exactly is it doing?
Right. SRP scraping. It integrates with a service called ScrapeOwl. SRP stands for Search Engine Results Page, basically the Google results.
Mm-hmm.
So when you enable SR key scraping for an article you're generating, ZimmWriter uses ScrapeOwl to look at the actual top Google results for the title or keywords you provided.
And what does it do with that information?
It extracts useful data from those top-ranking pages, things like the subheadings they use, H2s, H3s, summaries of their content, and important SEO keywords they're targeting.
So it's analyzing what's already working on Google.
Exactly. The idea is to use that information to make your generated content more comprehensive, factually accurate by seeing what points top results cover, and better optimized for SEO from the get-go. It helps the AI write content that addresses the search intent better.
That makes a lot of sense. Using real-world ranking data to inform the AI.
Precisely. It adds a layer of real-time relevance that purely model-based generation might miss.
Okay, what about visuals? Does it help with images?
It does. There's built-in AI images integration. It connects with a few different AI image models.
Which ones?
DALL-E 3, Stable Diffusion, Ideogram are mentioned. So you have options depending on the style you want or the access you have.
And you can generate them in bulk, too.
Yep, you can generate images based on prompts or even just based on your article titles and do it for multiple articles at once.
Do you need separate accounts or keys for those?
For some, yes. Like Stable Diffusion, you typically need your own API key from stability.ai. But again, you're paying their direct cost. And there are options to customize prompts, like telling it "know people" or asking for a specific artistic style.
Nice. And you mentioned embedding YouTube videos earlier. Is that automatic?
It can be. The YouTube integration feature can automatically find relevant YouTube videos for your article topic.
How does it find relevant ones?
It usually uses that ScrapeOwl integration, again, to search YouTube based on your article's content or title. You can typically choose to embed, say, up to 3 videos per article.
Where do they get placed?
Usually you have options, but often they're inserted logically near relevant subheadings. It's a great way to increase engagement, keep people on the page longer.
Yeah, time on page is a big metric. Okay, so you've generated all this content, maybe with images and videos. How do you get it onto your website, specifically WordPress?
Direct WordPress integration. This is a huge workflow booster.
So no copy pasting?
Nope. You can connect ZimmWriter directly to your WordPress site. It lets you save connection details for up to 10 different sites.
10 sites? Handy for agencies or people with multiple blogs?
Definitely. And when you upload, it can automatically create the URL slug based on the title. You can set categories, tags.
Can it schedule posts?
Yep. There's an option for scheduled posting, too, so you could bulk generate and then schedule them to go live over days or weeks.
That smooths out the publishing process significantly. Okay, what about using the AI outside the main ZimmWriter window?
That's where magic commands come in. These are pretty cool.
Magic commands, like keyboard shortcuts.
Exactly. Customizable keyboard shortcuts you can use from basically anywhere in Windows. Hit the shortcut, type a command or question, and the AI responds.
Without opening ZimmWriter itself.
Right, so you could be in a text document, a browser, anywhere. Hit your shortcut and type like, write a quick outline for a blog post about benefits of solar panels, or what are 3 alternatives to Zoom?
Wow, like having an AI assistant just a keystroke away.
Pretty much. Great for quick brainstorming, outlining, maybe rewriting a paragraph on the fly, or even just asking quick questions.
I can see that being addictive. Now, maintaining a consistent brand voice is important. Can ZimmWriter help with that?
It can, using the Style Mimic feature. This is really clever.
Style mimic. Does it learn your style?
Essentially, yes. You feed it a sample of text written in the style you want to emulate. Could be your own writing, a client's style guide, up to about 40,000 characters.
Okay, so you give it a sample.
The AI analyzes that sample. It looks at the tone, the vocabulary, sentence structure, all that stuff. And then when it generates new content for you, it tries to match that learned style.
Can you save different styles? Like one for your formal blog, one for a more casual client?
Absolutely. You can save and load multiple style mimics, really useful for keeping things consistent across different projects.
That sounds incredibly powerful for agencies or anyone managing multiple brands.
It really is. Then there's a tool called the Text Discombobulator. Bit of a funny name.
What does that do?
It's kind of a flexible tool. You give it a prompt and a list of terms or keywords, and the AI will then generate descriptions or maybe categorize those terms based on your prompt.
Trying to think of a use case.
Maybe you have a list of product features and you want short, benefit-focused descriptions for each. Or maybe you have a list of industry jargon and you want simple explanations. It helps expand on or define lists of things based on your instructions.
Okay, Got it. Sort of a specialized text generation tool for lists.
Kind of, yeah. And another useful touch is the nuking AI words option.
Nuking AI words. What does that mean?
It's an option to automatically find and remove words that often make AI writing sound. Well, like AI writing.
Ah, like delve, unveil, tapestry, those kinds of words.
Exactly. Those buzzwords that sometimes creep in. You can tell ZimmWriter to automatically remove or replace them to make the output sound more natural, more human.
That's a thoughtful feature. What about other languages?
It does support translation, typically through integration with services like DPL. You'd usually need your own API key for DPL, though.
Okay, so covering a lot of bases. Let's circle back to cost effectiveness because that came up early on.
Right. It's worth stressing again that bring your own API key model for OpenAI is fundamental. You pay OpenAI's rates directly, no ZimmWriter markup on the core AI usage.
And the other integrations, like ScrapeOwl for scraping or Stable Diffusion for images.
Those are separate optional costs paid directly to those providers if you choose to use them. So the pricing is very transparent. You only pay for the extra services you actually use.
Compared to all-in-one tools where everything's bundled, this seems potentially much cheaper, especially for heavy users.
It often works out that way, yeah. The cost per word can be significantly lower.
Now, all these features sound great on paper, but what are actual users saying? You mentioned G2 reviews.
Yeah, the user feedback seems overwhelmingly positive. On G2, you see reviews calling it things like the best AI writing tool. People really seem to love it.
What specifically do they praise?
A few things come up repeatedly. The constant updates and new features are a big one. Users feel the developer is really active and responsive.
So it's not stagnant, it's evolving.
Definitely. They also praise the quality of the content generated, not just text, but the integrated images, even social media post generation capabilities that sometimes come up, and the community. There seems to be a really active, helpful Facebook group or community around it.
That community aspect is often underrated, but so valuable.
For sure, people sharing tips, tricks, helping each other out. Users also really appreciate the founder's involvement, constantly adding new ideas and improvements.
Any specific features get shout-outs in reviews?
The ability to build unlimited link packs for internal and external linking is often mentioned as a big plus for SEO. Makes managing links across many articles easier.
And the changelog you mentioned. The transparency helps build trust, right? Seeing the updates and bug fixes.
Absolutely. It shows that commitment to ongoing support and making the tool better based on feedback.
Okay, this sounds like a really comprehensive and well-regarded tool. If people listening are intrigued, what's the next step?
Well, if you want to experience the power of ZimmWriter for yourself and see how it might fit into your workflow, the place to go is their website.
Which is?
It's zimmwriter.de. You can find all the details there, features, pricing, and how to get started.
Perfect. So zimmwriter.de to learn more.
Exactly. We really hope this deep dive has, shown a light on what ZimmWriter can do. Its potential for streamlining content creation and really boosting SEO efforts seems significant.
I agree. The combination of versatility covering everything from single posts to bulk generation, local SEO, niche research, and that cost effectiveness, it's a strong package.
And the fact that it's constantly evolving with that active development and supportive community, it makes it a really compelling choice for anyone serious about creating quality content efficiently.
So maybe a final thought for our listeners.
Okay.
What aspects of AI content gen are you most curious about now? What challenges are you facing that maybe a tool like this could help solve?
That's a good question to ponder. We definitely encourage you to check out the website, zimmwriter.de, maybe even look into that community we mentioned. Continue exploring.
Absolutely. Well, that brings us to the end of our deep dive today. Thank you so much for tuning in to the ZimmWriter, the ultimate AI content generator for SEO success podcast.